How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today. We are going to be talking about more training camp topics for the Kansas City Chiefs. And let me just start by saying that the Kansas City Chiefs have had one of the more impressive training camps that we've seen thus far in the National Football Leagues. Sure, it's a little biased, but also when you're looking at the way that these guys are practicing in the extreme heat, multiple players and coaches have said, playing in this heat, it kind of shows your true colors if you're either going to be ready for the competition or you're just kind of going to have to fall back in line if you're not ready. But, once they get back in Kansas City and the season begins, they are going to be playing in some colder weather. It's just for right now, but that in itself for everybody is impressive enough, and we should be giving them their flowers where flowers are due. However, though, we're going to be talking about today a guy who has yet to hit the field for the Kansas City Chiefs this training camp, and it's one of their top free agent signings in cornerback Kristian Fulton. Now, Fulton is obviously sidelined due to injury. He had a quote-unquote clean-up knee surgery on his knee this offseason per head coach Andy Reid, and that's why it has been a wait to see him put some pads on and hit the field. However, there is still some optimism to his signing, and more so about how well things are going for the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense will be okay, and I do think that they are fully expecting Kristian Fulton to at one point be able to put some pads on and hit the field in training camp. Or at least we have yet to see any concern come from head coach Andy Reid when discussing the injury. When he kind of broke the news, he was just saying, it's just a cleanup surgery, and it happened back in the spring. They're going to have to be able to kind of ease him into things, much like other injured players that started off with the Chiefs this season. But however, I still think that when healthy, Kristian Fulton might be one of the most underrated signings in free agency, not only for the Chiefs, but he's going to be I think if he has a good season this year, he could be an underrated pickup whatsoever. So Kristian Fulton, obviously, he signed a 2-year deal worth $20 million. He got the second most money in the offseason. Obviously, Jalen Moore got a larger contract. But this is also worth 2 seasons. He has a $15 million guarantee. If the Kansas City Chiefs, I talked about this in one of my articles about Kristian Fulton, if the Chiefs organization felt as if Fulton wasn't going to be able to don some pads this season and don a Chiefs uniform out during the regular season, then they wouldn't have given him a 2-year deal. This is a guy coming off of one of his better seasons in the National Football League, also coming over from AFC West division rival in the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs are going to want everything and anything possible with Kristian Fulton to be on this field. However, you cannot rush his comeback timeline. But that being said, I am having a really high epiphany and appraisal of him. I believe that once he is healthy, he's going to be a difference maker on this Chiefs defense. He is a former second-round pick, and in 56 regular season games, he has been able to show that he is a successful guy. He doesn't have to be the biggest guy. He doesn't have to be the fastest guy. Kristian Fulton has just got to be on the field. And, we learned earlier this offseason that he was being highly scouted while he was in the draft profile. The Chiefs have kept an eye on this guy way before he even got drafted into the National Football League. And all the eyes were on him last season, more or less, because he was a divisional opponent. It not only benefits the Kansas City Chiefs to poach Fulton away from the AFC West division, or in bringing him onto your side with the Chiefs, but I do think that his coming off of a really strong season in 15 games with Los Angeles, He's going to be a guy that if he is healthy, he's going to be terrific. Let me tell you his statistics last season. In 15 games with the Chargers, he had 51 total tackles. 39 of those were solos. He had 7 passes defended and 3 stuffs. As we know, Trent McDuffie is one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. One of the best up and coming. He could even be, down the line of his career, he could be one of the best. He could earn that mantra to his name. Adding Kristian Fulton to a room that shares Trent McDuffie, who has been explosive in his passes defended in the past 3 seasons, is going to provide a lot of depth in the backfield for the Chiefs. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo loves Kristian Fulton. He loves him. He's going to be able that is only going to bode well for Fulton in a defensive scheme created by Coach Spagnuolo. It is going to be a match made in heaven should the two actually get along. I say actually because we have yet to see him on the field. I understand that. But Coach Spags, he's not going to say a high regard of a player that has yet to put on pads and the uniform for the team that he's coaching on if he didn't believe in him. I understand that these coaches have to be behind their players. I understand that they have to root them on. But, certain relationships are not given, they are earned. And I think that if over the next 2 seasons, he can be a strong defender for the Kansas City Chiefs. He just has to get healthy first. Also coming off of last season, according to Pro Football Focus, Kristian Fulton had a 71.1 overall grade, which puts him slightly above average. He's not going to be, even though he's coming off arguably one of the best seasons of his career, he's not going to be a make or break guy of your defense. However, he's going to be able to help you. He ranked 40th out of the 222 that were ranked in that category. I mean, when you really think about it, being a top 40 cornerback in PFF ratings after a great season, I commend the Kansas City Chiefs for picking him up. He had the highest of his grades came in against the run. He had a 79.3 PFF grade in run defense and ranked 22nd out of the 222. That is a recipe for success. We have yet to hear any update on Fulton about his recovery, but I would assume that he will be participating in training camp. While it might not be for a long time, he's going to be able to get out onto the field and help this Kansas City Chiefs team chase down their 10th straight AFC West Division title and hopefully their 4th consecutive Super Bowl appearance, hopefully this time changing the narrative compared to this past season. That being said, though, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about Kristian Fulton. You can follow me over on X at Dom Minchella, where I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs training camp. You can also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI over on X. 100% free coverage, and you're not going to want to miss it. We've got stuff coming every single day. As always, Chiefs Kingdom, my name is Dominic Minchella. Be kind to one another, and I will see you tomorrow.